All right, people, welcome to yet another episode. In this episode, we want to talk about the types of guys or the types of men that you shouldn't date in this time. Of course, if you want to date, there are some things that you want to look out for in a man, and there are some things that you don't want to see in a man. And if you see these things, you don't want to date them because that is going to cause problems for you in the future. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like, and share our videos. So, what are the types of guys that you shouldn't date? The first point is this: the lazy man. Never date the lazy man. As a man, you need to be hardworking. If a man is hardworking, they can work, make some money, and then support you. But if you ever date a man who's lazy, then he's never really going to work hard, get some money, and then support you with some of the money or the earnings or the income that they make. The next type of man that you shouldn't date or think about dating is a man who easily gets angered or always gets angry. So if you want to date someone who's pathological, the person is an angry person, an angry man, little thing they get angry over, it means that there's going to be trouble all the time in the relationship. They will always fight you in the relationship. You don't want to be with such a person. The next type of man that you don't want to date is the player. So the player is the one who is always having multiple women with them. You see that they try to date you, but you realize that they are with other women too, So it means that they have multiple, women around them that they date, including you. So you are not really the project for them. You are just one of them. You don't want to date such a person because that is going to create problems for you in a way that you will always have to compete with this lady. Some of them will even come and beat you, insult you for fighting with them over their man and so on and so forth. You don't want to date the player. Another type of man that you don't want to date is the man who's a cheater. If you ever want to be in a relationship with a cheater, you are in trouble because you would always have to monitor them because they would always cheat with the next woman and the next woman and the next woman. So make sure that you don't date the cheater. The next type of man that you don't want to date is the narcissist. The narcissist is that type of man who sees themselves as superior. They try to hurt you. They try to manipulate you. They will do everything to make sure that you go down and they become superior in their relationship. So you don't want to date a man who is a narcissist. Again, another man that you don't want to date is the man who is a control freak. He is always looking for ways to control you, never really giving you the room to think and be yourself as a woman. You can be in a relationship with such a person. Of course, you don't also want to be in a relationship with the one who is an abuser. An abuser will abuse you verbally, will abuse you physically. In this era, we don't expect any man to abuse a woman, physically especially, beat them and so on and so forth. If you ever see that the person that you are close to, you are dating, is an abuser, physical abuser, verbal abuser, you need to stay away. The next type of man that you don't want to date is the one who doesn't believe in God. If you are a believer in God and you go in for a man who doesn't believe in God, that is going to be the most awkward relationship that you've ever seen. Because whilst you talk about the greatness of God, these people will not be happy to hear such messages from you because they don't believe in the greatness of God. They don't believe in God, so you don't want to be with a man who doesn't believe in God. Another type of man that you don't want to date is the man who is selfish. Selfish guys are difficult to be in a relationship with. It's all about them. It's all about trying to attain their goals, and they never think about helping or supporting you. So you don't want to date a guy who's selfish, because you want someone that you can collaborate with, someone that you can be together, help each other, and so on and so forth. The next type of man that you don't want to date is the one who is a liar. It's very difficult to be in a relationship with a liar. A liar will say this today, tomorrow they will turn it. Tomorrow they say this, another time they say that. It's difficult to build anything in this life with someone like that who's a pathological liar in a relationship. You don't also want to be in a relationship with someone who is very unsupportive. These days we go into relationship, we want the people that we can support, we want the people who can also support us. So if you're a lady and you ever go into a relationship with someone who is very unsupportive, that is going to be a challenge because your dreams and goals will not be supported by this person. Again, you don't want to be in a relationship with someone who is a disrespectful man. We expect the men of today to respect our women because our women are great. They are doing a wonderful job to make this world a better place. If you ever fall in a relationship with a man who is disrespectful to you as a woman, I don't think you should go on because, hey, you will never be respected. As a human being, you want to feel respected. You want to be, honored. You want to be seen as a good person, someone that needs to be regarded. And if you have someone who is disrespectful, get out of that relationship. My last point for you on the man that you shouldn't date is the one who is a substance abuser. People who smoke excessively, people who drink alcohol excessively. It may impair their brains. It may lead to mental health challenges. If you are in a relationship with them, that is going to be a problem that you have to deal with. So you don't want to also date the substance abuser. That's all my point for you on the guys that you shouldn't date. Like this video, share this video, and I'll see you in the next episode.